Hello and welcome to the Bronuts.
This time we have a special guest, Wasabi.
Hello and welcome back to the Bronuts.
This time we'll take you through the cooling system of the Ferrari and touch on an exciting update on the electrics.
So in the last video we took a look at the oil system of the car. The other critical system is the coolant system. So what we'll do this time is we'll go through what we've got and what we need to do in terms of the coolant system on the car.
What we do to start is we'll look at the workshop manual diagram of how the system works, and then we'll take you through from the back to the front what each of those components are and what we'll need to do for those.
And when we get to the front we'll need to take the bumper off so that we can see the radiators at the front as well. So what we have in front of us is the two main diagrams for the coolant system. The top one is the one that we'll go through first, and that's basically the main diagram. So what we have here at the front is the two radiators, so those sit under the front bumper. There's pipe work connecting the two together, and then underneath the car there's an inflow and an outflow pipe. So those are the big aluminium pipes that we took out when we got the car off of the jig, so those will need to go back in. At the back, what we can see here is that there's more pipe work, so there's rubber hoses and aluminium bits as well, and those go into this, which is the water pump. So that's basically all the pipe work between the water pump and the radiators, so we need to check all of that. Going down to the second diagram, so what this shows is the expansion tank. So this is the tank at the very back of the car in the engine bay. So that's where you would fill the coolant up from. There's an overflow at the top which just goes down, and then you've also got the inflow into the pump. So that was the pump which is in the first diagram as well. There's a backflow from the pump as well. Then there's one pipe that runs under the car and basically connects to the top of both radiators, and this whole thing works as an expansion overflow system, so it just makes sure that the coolant level, if it gets too high, that it's got somewhere to go back into the expansion tank.
So we're at the back of the car now. So as you saw on those diagrams, that's where the expansion tank is. So normally this is where you'll check your coolant level and fill it up again. Off the top here is where we have the overflow, and at the back here, which you can't quite see from that angle, is we have these two return feeds, but we also have this thick rubber pipe going from the expansion tank to the water pump. It looks a bit old at the moment, so we're going to look to replace this, and as I said, that the other end goes to the water pump, which is on the other side of the engine, which we'll show you now.
Okay, so we're back in the cabin and we've got our favourite feature, the engine hatch, and what you can see here is this pulley right here, this grey pulley. Behind it is the water pump. What happens is as the engine's running, so this is turning, it's powering the water pump, and that basically feeds the coolant through the coolant system. If you look on this side, what you can see is coming out of the water pump there's a couple of pipes. So there's a rubber pipe going down, there's a silicon bend here, and aluminium pipework going down. So what that does is it connects to the pipes under the floor, which aren't actually connected at the moment. So you can see it's loose at the moment, and then that runs to the front of the car. So it pumps all the way to the front, and then it joins the radiators at the front. So this is quite an important part of the coolant system. What we need to do is just make sure that we've got all of the bends, got all of the pipe work, and basically we've got everything that we need to connect it from the front to the back. So if you look over on this side, what you'll see is the radiator is actually missing. So we don't have that radiator. But if you remember, we do have the parts. So we've got the fan and the pipe work. We just need to actually get a radiator and get that plumbed in. If you look, however, over on the other side, so down there, you can see that radiator and all the pipe work is all there and connected. So what we need to do is basically replicate that on the other side.
It's quite spacious, this car, actually.
Yeah, at the moment we don't have the seats in, so there's quite a lot of space for both of us.
Yeah, I can't even reach where the steering wheel should be. So as we went through, we do have one of the radiators, so on the front right, which is lucky. So we will need to buy the one on the front left. But the one we do have, as it's quite old, we will need to check it for any leaks. We can do that with just regular tap water, just fill it up and look for some leaks. So if it is leaking, we'll need to buy one of those. If not, all good.
Yeah, the pipe work we've got most of. There are a couple of bends and things that we'll just need to check that we've got and buy. We might need some more clamps as well. The rubber hosing, we need to check that it's still intact, especially in the engine bay, because it can get quite hot. And especially as the cars are getting on now, it can start to go brittle. So the last thing we want is a hose to burst. So we'll replace any of those that need replacing too.
Exciting update on the electronics side. So we've been soldering on with that. It's quite slow identifying all of those wires. We do finally have something to show you, which I've got my steering wheel ready for. But before that,
what we've got is a power supply. What we're going to do is just connect the car up to the power for the first time and see if we can get the instrument cluster going. Hopefully see a load of warning lights on there, but any lights would be good, I think, at this stage.
Yep, and we'll just show you that now.
Okay, so I've got the power and I've got it on supply mode. And what I would do is I would just connect up the clamps and the car should now have power. Okay, so we have the key. I'm going to put it in and hopefully as I turn it, what you'll see is some action on the dashboard.
Oh yeah, lights. That's what we like to see. So we've got the normal lights on the left and the right, but in the centre here, we've got a bunch of rotating symbols. ASR, it thinks the boot's open, which is not correct. Thinks we're on jack stands, which is not correct. No fuel, which is probably correct. ASR, and yeah, boot. So now we just need to make sure all of the other wires are all connected before we can get the engine turning.
So one step closer to getting that engine going, guys.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this video. A quick overview of the cooling system on the Ferrari and that final exciting update of us getting the instrument cluster plugged in, connected and working. One step closer to getting the car running.
We know it's been a little while since we last posted a video, but as you can see we are making slow and steady progress. What we'll do is as we source the parts like the radiator and so on and get everything connected, we'll keep the videos coming and keep you guys updated.
If you liked the video, or even if you didn't, please do hit that like button, subscribe and share it with all of your friends.
Don't forget to hit that bell icon for future notifications. And if you've got any questions, comments or ideas, please do drop them below in the comments. And we'll
see you in the next one.